maybe a little tap on it. See where I've got hole? There. Yeah, I think that's better. Now let's find the little pesky ring. Didn't lose it on the floor, did I? Probably not. I hope not. Oh, what did I do now? What did I do now? As you all probably can see now, I didn't remember to put the plate on. And whenever you get nervous in front of camera, all things go wrong. And there was the bushing. Look, it was on my little puller. And I'm sure when you're all being a little bit fiddly with these things in your garage, these things tend to happen too. But now I have to see how to get this bearing off. That wasn't a really clever thing to do. Now let's see if it wants to come off. Yes, it's going. Luckily. That's so nice of it when all things are new. That it's not rusted yet. Now, for once I will remember to put that plate on. And I can see I've bended the grease shield a little bit, but I will bend it back. And it probably doesn't have a function anymore, but I will put it in for the spacing. I will bend it back a little bit so it doesn't come in touch with the rest of the stuff. Now let's see. Maybe like this. Because you can see there's a little edge to that. This has to fall to the bearing right there, and that's where it gets its space from. So that's why it all went wrong, but it's going on pretty easily. Well, just some taps again. And don't drop it, of course. And luckily there's no damage. Alright. Spacer ring on. So you will probably say this was not perfect, but well, every little job like this with an old alternator, and I can say this is my first time doing this. That's on. Let's try the pulley again. And it's going on. Great. Now we are back where we were. Let's see if we got it right now. Yeah, still turns freely. Yeah. That is a lot better. I think, ladies and gentlemen, that was it. We'll give the wrench a little tap with a hammer. And there we are, all assembled. And it's turning freely. That's nice. Let's put this aside and see if we can get the field windings in. These windings are put in series. There's a little bit piece of cable that connects them, and they need to go on that side and on that side. And when you pull something like this apart, you will see exactly how it's put in. Sometimes it's handy to take some pictures of it. These screws, they were not easy to get out. And this is not the right screwdriver, of course, but I only hand tighten them now. And later I will put a big bit in and then I will tighten them better. And as you can see, they're in. I think they're in nicely, but maybe that one can be a little bit more forward. Let's see if that does the trick. Yes. Alright. Love it when the plan comes together. And now I have to solder these wires. There are now some fittings on there, but I will cut that off. It's probably for other types of alternators or dynamos. And I will solder them on the inside of these terminals. But first I have to get the iron hot. You need to get a big soldering iron for this, because there's a big piece of metal in it. This one is 150 watts. It takes a while to get warm. So I will put it in the vise. Now I get my pliers and see if I got some tin laying around. Yeah. Let's see. I think you want to make sure they're not too long, because they will rub up against other parts in there. Well, great. This back side is going on like so. And you can see there's a little lip on there that's connected to the D plus of the alternator. I keep saying alternator, but of course it's dynamo, and that has to be connected to that one. That's the positive side of the brushes. Well, it looks nice and new though. I love it. Let's see if the soldering iron is coming to temperature. Not yet. I guess I needed to turn it on sooner. But it's getting hot though. Maybe I have some time to show you the old windings that were in there. That was these ones, and somewhere I think they contacted the inside or something, I don't know, but it did some really weird stuff. Sometimes it worked and sometimes it didn't. It did some stuff it isn't supposed to do. So there's going to be an all refurbished alternator on this project. So it's warm. Now first I'm going to tin these wires. So you don't see any copper anymore. Get them nice and hot so it flows around all the way. And now I'm going to try soldering them on the terminals. These are the screws on the inside. There's already some tin on it because they're not new. And whenever you want to do something like this, you want to put some tin on the tip so it makes more surface contact to the rest of the tin. It's getting warm better. My pliers. It's always a little bit fiddly to do this inside of something. And not to burn your hands, of course. Now I'm going to warm them up nicely both. And there's a little bit of a slot in the upper side of the bolt of the terminal. And there it's in. Oh. Up again a little bit. Keep it steady. Maybe a little blow to cool it down. And it's nice and tight. Now for the next one. These wires were crossed when I got the alternator, the dynamo. I'm not too sure about that, but we'll see. I'll put them back crossed in, and if it doesn't work, then I'm going to put them back the other way. But I think that's how it was originally, and it isn't tampered with, so I hope. So it's going to be all in the same way. I'm going to have to watch out not to burn myself. First warm up the nut. And again, please get a big soldering iron for this. Don't try and do this with a little one, because it won't get hot enough, and even when you get it stuck to it, it won't be very good. Yay, I've got them on. Now put this soldering iron away so it doesn't burn anything. Well, don't know if you can see that. Yeah, but I think that looks great. Now the windings are in. I think we are ready for this piece to go in again. And there's a little notch out of the edge of this dynamo, and there's a little notch out of there, and you need that in the same to be in the same place. I'm going to scratch the edge of it so you can see, so I can see where it needs to go, because you can't see that all the way. And put those marks in front of each other. And now I think I need to tighten these some more, because it doesn't fit inside. Let's see. I got this socket. Look, it's a big socket. Let's tighten them some more. And the other side. Well, let's try it again. It needs some more room. Well, that's fitting very tight. I hope this is going to fit. There ever so slightly it fits, but I need some more. Wow, I can't believe how tight it is. But it needs to be, because then it's when these polarities are right in front of each other, they will make some power. Oh, I hope it turns freely. No, not yet. Oh. So maybe a little bit more. I think that's tight. Oh, it's turning. Now I need to get the slot in front of that. And that's very snug. It turns pretty freely now. That's nice. Now I have to get this aligned and in. And that's not easy. Lining that part up. But once I will get these bolts in, it will fit. So here for the end cap. How I did this was the bearing is thicker than the part where the commutator, where the brushes needs to be against. So I'm setting the brushes on the bearing and then lowering them on the commutator. So I'm pulling this on to the bearing and then I'm pulling the brushes to the side. Now I need to see if I can find where I marked this. It needs to be the other way around.